187,000 new jobs and an unemployment rate of 3.5%. But is this a sign that the United States economy is on the brink? That's a great question and exactly what I want to share with you right here in the video. So let's get right into it. I know earlier today we got the all-important non-farm payroll number, which is a number that is released once per month on the first Friday of the month, and that just so happens to be today. Well, as this report was released, they showed employers added an extra 187,000 new jobs last month, and the unemployment rate actually ticked down a little bit to 3.5%. Now, they also found within this report, average hourly earnings increased by 4.4% on an annualized basis. Now, this is the number, and this is what it looks like as a result of this report. Let me break down the details of what analysts were actually expecting as a result of this report and how it compares to the report that we got 1 month ago. Now, analysts were actually expecting 200,000 new jobs to be created. As you saw just a second ago, the number actually came in at 187,000. Now, obviously, that's only 13,000 less than what they were expecting, so it's not really that far off, but it is a little bit lower. Now, as a result of that, I do want to talk about for just a second here some of the things that are coming out of the Federal Reserve. Now, we remember, because you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, all of last year and most of this year so far, the Federal Reserve has been aggressively raising interest rates, and I've continued to say in other videos, the full effects of all of these interest rate hikes have not even hit the economy quite yet. So, as a result of this, is this possibly the cracking of the economy and the job market starting to contract a little bit, as you've probably heard me talk about before in other videos, and why this is so incredibly important. Now, I do want to share with you the details of another report that was just released today as well, that is showing the finances of the American people on average, and you can judge for yourself based on all this information, okay? Now, let me share with you the percentages, the statistics that were actually outlined in this report here based on the finances of the American people. And again, I'd love to hear from you down below. Do you feel like this is a sign of a very healthy economy and a healthy United States, population with their finances, or do you feel like this is possibly the start of something a lot worse? And again, I want to break down those details for you, which, by the way, let me give you just a quick little analogy here quick. Have you ever been on a flight, right? So you're flying on an airplane, right? All is good, totally fine, things like that. And all of a sudden you hear a little announcement over the speaker from the captain, right? You can barely hear anything that they ever say because there's so much noise. But you hear the captain come on and the captain says, "Everybody please return to your seat. In 10 minutes from now, we're going to be experiencing some rough air," or whatever they say like that, right? So my point is behind all this. Now, the captain has some technology up there in the flight deck, right? Whatever their technology is, honestly, I don't really know because I'm not a pilot and I don't know what goes on up there. But obviously, they can see things, out into the future, as in about 10 minutes or about however many miles that is, we're going to be experiencing, some turbulence. Well, as a result of that, they tell everybody, get ready, buckle up, sit down, and just get ready. It's going to get a little bumpy for a little while. So as a result of that, they can foresee what is coming. Same thing that we're looking at right here. Kind of the same analogy. We're looking at these reports right here. We're looking at our technology, the things out there, and saying, we might be going through a little bit of a rough patch, otherwise known as a little bit of turbulence, or rough air, as they're now calling it in aviation. And we'll have to see what happens here. But this may be a sign we're starting to see here on our little, whatever the pilots look at in their little, area there. We're looking at our technology and suggesting this may be a sign that some rough things are coming. Anyway, just want to give you that quick little analogy here so you can kind of better understand what I'm talking about when I say all this stuff as this may be a sign, okay? All right, now let me share with you the details of this report that was just released, which, by the way, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below. I'm here for you every single day watching all the details like this and giving you all of it here in these short videos. So again, subscribe. Thanks so much. Truly appreciate it. All right, so let me share with you the details of this report that was just released, talking about the finances of the American people. 35% of the American population reported in this report they are currently dealing with the highest debt levels they have ever seen in the history of their lives. So basically what that means, 35% of the American population, according to this report right now, has the most debt that they have ever had in their entire life right now. Not really sure if that's a good or bad thing, but I would anticipate this is probably a bad thing, right? If somebody is sitting with that much debt, I'm assuming most of it is probably consumer debt, things like student loans, auto loans, credit card debt, stuff like this, which, by the way, this is excluding mortgages, okay? So mortgages generally are the biggest amount of debt that somebody would take on. This is excluding mortgages, okay? So that's a lot of consumer debt right there that people are experiencing right now, which, by the way, the report also went on to show that the average person right now, the average adult who has debt, has $21,800 of debt, which, by the way, about 28% of all debt across the entire country right now is credit card debt. You've heard me talk about this before. Credit card debt is possibly the worst kind of debt somebody can have because the interest rates are crazy high. Have you ever looked at your statement before and seen how much the credit card debt is right now? In fact, across all credit cards, average credit card debt right now is over 20%. That's tough to get ahead these days, right? If you're paying 20% interest on anything right now, that's going to be really hard to get ahead, right? Let me give you a quick little flip side of that so you can better understand that. And again, I'm not saying that you don't understand. I'm just simply saying, let me just flip that around to kind of give you a little bit of a little better illustration on this so we can see the effects of this. Think of it this way. You have, I don't know, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. It literally doesn't matter. Just pick a number. You have $100,000 in a savings account. The bank is paying you 20% interest on that money. Would you be happy or would you be sad? I'm not sure about you, but I'd be super happy about that. 20% interest is literally like unheard of on the receiving end. On the paying end, oh yeah, you hear about it all the time, right? But on the receiving end, as in getting a 20% interest rate on a savings account is literally unheard of, okay? That is the little flip side and the analogy that I wanted to give you to better illustrate this, which is the bank is on the receiving side. Their savings account is our debt is their savings account because if they give us money, we take it out in the form of debt, as in we spend it and then we pay them back. And meanwhile, we pay them 20% interest on that, okay? Same thing, just flipped around. Rather than us having the money and the bank paying us 20% interest, the bank is receiving 20% interest from us because their savings account is giving us leverage, otherwise known as debt. Get what I'm saying there? So it's the same thing, just flipped around. Anyway, and why do you think these banks are sitting on hundreds of billions of dollars, okay? They make a ton of money. Why? Because they have millions of customers doing the same thing, paying a ton of interest to them. Well, no wonder why they make so much money, right? So anyway, that's the little the report that was released today showing 35% of Americans are sitting right now with the most amount of debt that they've ever had. The average American who has debt has $21,800 of consumer debt, and 28% of all debt outstanding right now is credit cards. Not good, right? So anyway, again, I just want to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comment section. Do you feel like all of this that I'm painting for you here in this video is a sign of a healthy economy, just a mediocre economy, or do you feel like it is, well, it's possibly on the brink, right? Again, I'd love to hear from you down below in the comment section if you're interested in sharing. But anyway, you've heard me talk about this before in other videos. If you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, the unemployment rate that is released once per month, the first Friday of the month, which is today, is a very, very important report, okay? We need to continue watching all this closely. The economy is all about jobs, okay? I know there's a lot of focus on inflation and stuff like that, but I can tell you this much. If the economy goes down, they're going to drop this inflation thing like a hot potato, and they're going to be focusing on other things like creating jobs, okay? They're going to stimulate massively, and they know stimulus brings inflation, okay? So when I talk about stimulus, I'm just talking about everything. They print up trillions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, whatever like that. They plow it into the economy in a variety of different ways, like boosted unemployment benefits, stimulus checks, money for businesses, all kinds of stuff like that. That is all stimulus, and they know that is very inflationary. Well, again, like I said, they're talking about inflation now, and they're acting like this is the hot button issue. But I guarantee you, if this economy goes down in a ball of flames, like I said, they're going to drop it fast, really fast. They're going to completely change the rhetoric on all of this, and it's going to be focused on other things like, hey, the economy's going down, let's pump it with stimulus. They won't even talk about inflation anymore. That'll be an afterthought. The reason they're talking about inflation so much right now is because they don't have anything else to focus on. That's just kind of what they're doing to basically distract everybody. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you down below. This is the report as of today, the couple of reports I wanted to share with you. And again, I'd love to hear your comments, questions, your feedback down below. Otherwise, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. I'm here for you every single day, no matter what, bringing the latest details and the new information hitting the wire to break it all down for you, to keep you informed, to help educate, and just to make sure that everybody here in the community is on the right side of all this and grabbing as much as you possibly can. The money, the benefits, the resources, the programs, the stimulus, raises to benefits, anything like that that's coming up right now. Things are changing rapidly, and again, I just want to help you out. Grab as much as you can. As we know, things are changing, and there's a lot that's going on right now. So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and catch you again later.